They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
2016 Stephen Curry might go down as one of the best regular season performances we have ever seen. Averaging 30 points per game while shooting 45% for 3 on 11 attempts a night was something the league has never seen before and has not been replicated since, which is why today in this video we are trying to make a 2016 MVP Stephen Curry build on NBA 2K24. And with all of that out of the way, let's get started with today's video. Let's go. All right, so for this build, we're going to be going with the point guard position. Height, I ended up going 6'4", weight 175 pounds with a 6'6" wingspan. If you do want to go an inch shorter and get the correct height of 6'3", you absolutely can, but I just saw no reason to do it. And then starting things off in the finishing, we're going to have an 80 driving layup on this build, which is going to get you Pro Touch on a Hall of Fame, as well as the Trae Young layup style, which is actually really good in this year's game. Now, you can get the Stephen Curry layup style, but you need to have an 86 driving layup, and you need to be starter 3. And a lot of you guys may not know this, but I ended up switching affiliations, and now I'm in Rise, so I am no longer starter 3. So even if I did put an 86 driving layup on this build, I could not get the Curry layup style. So if you guys do want to do that, you can, but we had to put a lot of attributes into other categories, and I thought an 80 driving layup was going to be perfectly fine, so that is what I ended up doing. All right, so now taking a look at the finishing clips right here. Obviously this gameplay is all going to be from the new season in Rec right here. Catch gonna drive baseline, go up with the floater. Now a little bit of context in these games, I did not have my layup maxed out all the way to an 81. This is actually with a 68 driving layup, and I was using default small. So obviously the build wasn't fully maxed out, but again, you could see the effectiveness of the layups even with a pretty low driving layup rating. My layup goes up at least another 12 points, and you could see I'm still hitting floaters consistently, hitting open layups. I can do reverses, which you'll see in a second here. Actually, yeah, here it is right here. We're gonna drive towards the baseline again, go for the reverse layup. They all jump early, so it's an open layup, and we're making that with a 68 driving layup. But now moving on to the shooting, which is the most important part of this build. Now for the shooting, we're going to have an 84 mid-range shot, which gets you Midi Magician on gold, and then a 97 three-point shot, which gets you Blinders on Hall of Fame, Limitless Range on gold, and a bunch of other shooting badges on gold and Hall of Fame. But now let's get straight to the shooting highlights right here. Now we're gonna divide this up into 2 separate sections when it comes to shooting, because there are levels to this Stephen Curry build when it comes to shooting. There's the shots that you could take just normally without heat check, and then there's the heat check shots, which you guys will see later on in this video. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around to see those because they are absolutely insane in comparison to the shots that we're taking here. And honestly though, even without heat check, even without take, we can still pull from limitless range very consistently on this build. And as you guys can see, we are also using that Stephen Curry base. I tried to use as many Curry animations as possible on this build that I thought would be usable. So I would use his jump shot, most of his dribble animations, his hop jumper. His hop jumper is actually very good, and you'll see that in a clip in just a few moments. But again, most of his animations are really good, except for just like 1 or 2. I did not use his dribble style because obviously I could just use Kyrie Irving, which is a much better dribble style, which we will again talk about later on in this video. But again, man, look at this, shooting contested threes. And again, I am only a starter 1 right now, so I don't have the starter 3 animation, so I do not have Patrick Mills base. So I am shooting all these shots with Curry base, which to a lot of people is the inferior jump shot base, but I actually liked it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now we do just have a couple more shooting clips before we get to the heat check highlights. But again, right here, man, couple steps behind the 3-point line, we can hit that without any issue. Goal limitless range is actually very good in this game. And take a look at this right here, bro. He's jumping at my face. It's a 57% contest, but since we got that Curry base with the Curry uppers, I think my defensive immunity is an A+. I got good height as well. And oh my god, L2 cancel into the Curry snatch back right there. That is a really, really good move. I use that a lot. And actually, surprisingly, L2 canceling into the Curry slide wasn't that bad either. And speaking of that Curry slide, take a look at this right here, man. Hop jumper cancel, cross, Curry slide, just shoot it right in his face. It's 40% contested, but it goes in. Now, you know, it's something that's really funny to me. Obviously, the Curry slide used to be broken in previous 2Ks, and they tried to patch it to make sure it would never be like that ever again. But if that's the case, then how do you add something like the Jamal Murray behind the back, which is 10 times worse than the Curry slide, but the Curry slide is still nerfed? I don't really fully get it. It is what it is. But again, back to the build, that 97 three-pointer is some nasty stuff. The Hall of Fame Blinders is going to help you a lot, especially when you're trying to 3 hunt. And then if you can't get off a 3, you have the 84 74 midi, which is really nice, or you could just drive to the basket with the 80 driving layup. But look at this right here. That's a crab with the Kemba escape, and that's a wide open three. Right here, getting beat again. We're just going to cross over, do the hop jumper. That is a really nice move in transition if you have a defender beat. Now let's get to those heat check shots, man. Now this is where you are going to fully unlock the maximum potential of this build. The real 2016 Stephen Curry fading from limitless range without any issue right here again. Side heat check, sharp take. He's playing me super high. We move right past him. Just hit a front fade from 30 feet and it's going in without any issue. When I have heat check, I feel like I can make every single shot I attempt right here. Gonna run back towards the middle. Fade again from deep. How far is that? Just hit a contested fade from 36 feet out basically. And then right here, heat check, mama mentality. Just get across half court and pull it. Front faded from 33 feet out. If that's not deep enough for you, here's the intro shot right here. Bring it up. Just pull it. Front fade. Limitless range. Almost 38 feet out, just like Stephen Curry himself. Just a couple more heat check clips right here. Hanging out super deep on the court. Catch fire. Again, you can pretty much hit anything from 35 feet plus on this build, whether it's standstill, off the dribble. And the best thing about heat check is that when you do have heat check, your opponents will not know that you have heat check. That is the best thing. They'll see if you have sharp take, but if your heat check icon pops up, they won't know that you have it. So if you're shooting something without take with heat check, they won't know. So you could pull crazy shots without them even realizing it. But here's the jump shot I was using in today's video. Curry base, Curry uppers, blended with Oscar Robertson. You see the defensive immunity, you see the height, the speed. This is actually a pretty decent jump shot, especially for the people that do not have starter 3 rep and don't have access to Patty Mills base. But now moving on to the playmaking, we're going to have a 77 pass accuracy for bronze needle threader, a 92 ball handle to get all the Curry dribble animations, and then a 90 speed with ball to get the Kyrie Irving dribble style, which is the best dribble style for small guards in the game. Now moving on to the playmaking highlights. Listen, man, I understand for a Curry build, the playmaking should be higher, the pass accuracy should be higher, but this builder is limited. But you see, we could combo up, we could piece up here, pump fake, kick it out to the corner. He's jumping for what reason, I do not know. And again, man, you could dribble pretty efficiently on this build, and if you just use meta sigs as well, it's going to be even more effective. Again, in this video, I was using practically all Curry sigs aside from the dribble style, which I was using Kyrie Irving, because I did not want to put my speed with ball high enough to get the Curry dribble style, which I believe you need a 92 to get, which is a very expensive thing to try and acquire. But again, very quickly, here are all of the animations I was using on this build. Now again, 2 things that I do want to point out. The dribble style, I was using Kyrie Irving, which is not Curry's, and then the dribble pull-up was Pro 2. I just could not figure out the timing for Curry dribble pull-up, so I just stuck with Pro 2. And now the most important part for a 2016 Stephen Curry build, we actually have to have some pretty decent defense on this build, which we're going to have a 71 perimeter defense for bronze challenger and an 81 steal to get interceptor on silver. Now, if you do want to drop the 3-point from a 97 to a 96, that could get you more steal, maybe get it up to like an 85 to get glove on silver. But I thought the 81 was perfect, and we had to get steal on this build because if you guys do not know, in 2016, Stephen Curry was actually the league leader in steals with more than 2 per game. So not only was he absolutely insane on the offensive end, breaking records left and right, but he was also pretty solid on the defensive end as well, at least when it came to getting steals. Now, again, don't have a whole lot of defensive highlights because the build wasn't completely maxed out when I got the gameplay on this build, but there is a steal right there with bronze interceptor. Now you can see the build fully maxed out. We're gonna have an 86 speed on this build to get speed booster on gold, only a 73 acceleration, which gets you blow by on silver. And surprisingly enough, when you're on a guard build in this game, you actually don't really need a whole lot of acceleration to get decent bursts to move left and right. This is pretty much how every single meta pro-am guard makes their build when it comes to acceleration. At least they don't really put it that high, usually no higher than 73. And then the strength, we didn't upgrade at all on this build, and obviously with that we don't get fearless finisher at all, but with having to upgrade the strength, it's just going to cost a whole lot to do. Vertical is going to be a 56 and then 97 stamina on this build. Now coming out of the my player builder, you are going to get the shades of Steve Nash, Trae Young, and Stephen Curry, and you're going to see we get the build name on this build, which is 3-point shot hunter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and yeah, that's it. Bye.